Hello and welcome to this video where I'm going to talk about HTML files and how to create one. So without further ado, HTML is short for Hypertext Markup Language. Now, hypertext, as you know, refers to text displayed on a computer or a device that contains links. We usually refer to them as hyperlinks or to other types of documents. So what are the actual advantages to using an HTML format instead of a more popular format like DocX or PDF? Well, there are many advantages, and one of them is compatibility. HTML files can be opened directly in web browsers on any device, regardless of the operating system. So, for example, um, Chromebooks are pretty popular nowadays, right? And yeah, on a Chromebook, you can't really install Microsoft Word or Adobe Reader. You can use these applications online, but they don't come pre-installed with them. However, it does come pre-installed with Google Chrome and other similar devices also come pre-installed with a web browser if they're meant to be used online. So Windows laptops, for example, come pre-installed with Microsoft Edge nowadays. In the past, it used to be Explorer. So you can be confident that whichever device your target audience is using, they will be able to view an HTML file, and that's because it loads in a web browser, and all devices come with one. Another advantage to using HTML files is the rich formatting options. So with HTML, you can format your text however you like. You can adjust the font size, the color. You can integrate photos or graphics, and you don't have to worry whether the viewer or the user of your file will be able to see them or not. Because as you know, sometimes when you export, it can change how your content looks like. With HTML, that's not the case. However you put it, it will export the same way and it will open up the same way on any other device. Another advantage is the ease of integration with web technologies. So let's say you already created an HTML file. Maybe in the future, or maybe someone else wants to use the content of that file in their website, and all they have to do is to import it. So as you know, all these web builders, they give you the option to import documents, and that's very easy to do with HTML files. So this format makes it easier to use content in the future with creating a web page, for example. Another advantage is editing flexibility. So users, regardless of their knowledge of coding or web design, they will be able to edit and make use of HTML files all the same. And I will show you how in a bit, but uh, actually HTML files can be edited in simple text editors such as Notepad or any other basic note-taking application. If you don't have knowledge of how coding works, then you can still use something else like Microsoft Word, like I'm using right now, and I'll save this as an HTML file later. All right, another advantage to HTML format is accessibility. So thanks to all the previously mentioned advantages, you can customize your file however you like. You can be sure that the file will load and look the same on all other computers. And since the file opens up in a web browser where you can add extensions or use an application such as a screen reader, you can tell that people with disabilities, maybe vision impairment, for example, they will be able to make use of your file easily, unlike maybe a traditional PDF scan where it opens on Adobe Reader, and we don't know if Adobe Reader has this screen reader option or not, or whether it's compatible with these applications. You don't have to worry about that with HTML files because they load in web browsers, and all web browsers have screen readers. Lastly, the last advantage to HTML file, or one more, is file size. HTML files are actually pretty compact. They don't take up a lot of space. They actually need less space than a docx or a PDF. So it is so much easier to upload them and send them to other people, and you don't have to worry about memory running out. All right, so how do we actually create an HTML file? Like I mentioned, you can use a basic text editor, such as Notepad on Windows or TextEdit on Mac or other apps. You just open this text editor. If you have knowledge of HTML code, you can make it look this way. So you can customize colors, spaces, fonts, etc. But this is not your only option. If you don't have knowledge of HTML code, you can still create an HTML file like I am doing right now. So you just type your text as you would usually on Microsoft Word. And the next step is to save it. That's it. So for example, I have my Word file right here, and I will go to File, which is usually on the top left corner of the screen. I will click on Save As, and I will select the extension which says web page. Now we do have two different extensions for web page. One of them is the old one, and this one that says web page filtered. This is the more optimized, the newer one, and I recommend using it rather than the old clunky one. This one is more organized and it's more efficient. So let's just choose web page filtered. You can also rename the file however you like now, or you can do that later. You can also choose where to save it. So for me, it's just going to be on the desktop. Microsoft Word will give you this warning, and you can just say yes. So this is like a preview of what my document will look like when I open it in a web browser. Let's see if this is actually the case. So I'm going to go to the file. This is it. You can see that the file size is only 7.29 kilobytes, so that's pretty negligible. I will click on it. It has the icon of Google Chrome, and that's because that's my default web browser. And as you can see, we successfully loaded my text in Google Chrome, and it looks exactly the same way I designed it in Microsoft Word. It's pretty clean, the colors are identical, everything is organized. This is actually an image which I embedded in my Word file, and you can see it here. It looks exactly the same. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you found it useful. Let me know if you have any questions. I will share a link to this file in case you want to experiment with it. And thank you for watching.